Hello everyone, I am Batman, and today we will go over the first new advanced dungeon in part 2 of the level 115 cap. This dungeon is Grand Constellation Turtle Library, or just Library for short. This dungeon has a 60-minute time limit, which is extremely generous, but you only have 5 life tokens. You're way more likely to run out of life tokens than use the time limit though. If you're barely at cutline, I will give you a suggestion at how strong you want to be for a comfortable run. If you're not quite strong enough, don't worry. Just keep doing Unshackled Nightmare and Temple of Death until you get strong enough. So, now let's get into the dungeon. Now there is a new mechanic that you do have to take note of for these new dungeons. It is called the overpower mechanic. So when you go into your skills list, when you click on a certain skill, you scroll all the way to the bottom, look at special function, it will say overpower. So certain skills will have this function, not all of them will, so let's go to one that doesn't have it, and so on. So there will be some of my normal damage skills that will have that overpower function, like right here, and then I have a few skills just at level 1 because I don't actually use it for damage, but I use it for the overpower mechanic only. So what this actually does is, I'll explain it when it comes, but some bosses you have to hit them with specific overpower skills in order to extend damage duration or to put them into stun. My recommendation for some of these skills, you'll notice the hotkey I have for them is for command is one direction and my skill key. By default it's Z. Don't worry, I have S. That's a long history. I'll talk about it one day, but this I have up, S, and so on. So you can have them accessible at all times whenever you need it. The second thing, reminder for, is always have Warlord's Cry Potion to give, 12% extra damage. You can get them from events. Weekly you get it from here. You can also buy them from the auction house. So just type in Warlords and buy them. You can technically craft these on your own, but the process for doing so is extremely long, and if you know how to do it, you know it. If you don't, it's too much of a bother. Just buy it off auction house or get it from events. When you enter the dungeon, you immediately fight one of the bosses. Then after that, you fight the 2 bosses at the top of the minimap. Then finally, you fight the final boss, who has 2 phases. And both phases are basically the exact same, but he just basically has 2 times the HP. Before you fight the 2 bosses at the top, you fight a mini-boss, like a giant book. You have a time limit to fight this book, less than a minute. If you don't kill it in time, you won't get a buff for fighting the final boss. If you're not strong enough to defeat this book in enough time, that's usually not a good sign. I don't suggest really continuing on with the dungeon if you're not strong enough to finish it in time. The first 3 bosses are always randomized each week. So I'm going to go over them in terms of what I think is simplest to the most complex. So we'll start with Eminent Vilis. There will be a bar at the bottom of the screen. She will throw out attacks you need to dodge, but eventually her machines will target you with a circle. Guide the circle to Vilis to stagger her. Do this 2 times to complete the pattern. Like with all bosses in this dungeon, when you complete a pattern, you can use overpower skills to extend the duration of the damage phase. After 2 normal patterns are completed, she will go into her main pattern. This is the most difficult pattern in the whole dungeon, in my opinion. You can float up the screen by pressing the jump button. You will see a yellow gauge next to you. It fills up if you go into the yellow zone or touch the green bubbles. If it fills up all the way, you get stunned, thrown against the wall, and take damage. The goal is to collect the blue bubbles to decrease the pattern count, while also staying in the middle zone and collecting white bubbles to keep your gauge down. The blue bubbles disappear after some time, so if there's a bubble you didn't collect in a while, ignore it and look for the next one. When you collect a blue bubble, it jumps you up automatically, so I suggest going into the middle section while preparing to descend into the next blue bubble every so often. Now let's go over Uncontrollable Fabia. The short version of this fight is use her robots to protect yourself from her, and then send her robots to her to stun her. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but all the bosses have some sort of red wave attack. Whenever you see that, just jump to avoid it. The only notable normal pattern I want to highlight is this beam thing. So she will shoot the beams in 2 directions, just move away from it, and then when she has 2 beams at the same time, just circle around, or you can jump over it and you'll stay safe. Now, Eminent Vilis didn't have any attacks like this, but most bosses will have a little diamond thing. Use your overpower skills in order to stun them. For her main pattern, she will do flurries of attacks, and you need to get her to interact with her robots. For the first part, get her to evenly shoot at all 4 robots. She will do a final attack that should make her robots explode. Then, hit the button prompt to send the robots to her. The second part is more of the same. She will slowly throw grenades around. Try to get her to fully destroy each robot. After some time, she will charge at you twice. You can lead her to the remaining robots if any are still alive. Make sure you jump when you see the red waves. Next, she will fire powerful lasers. Guide each laser to each robot. For the next part, she will do a flurry of attacks, then start shooting at you. Use the robots to protect yourself before sending the robot to her. And in the final part, just keep dodging her attacks while sending the robots back to her. More of the same thing. Now let's go over Silent Chara. Oh my goodness. You won't be silent when I'm done with you. So anyway, the thing to remember is that if you stay inside the blue circle, you make it smaller, which is good. And if you stay inside the purple circle, it gets bigger, which is bad. Use the circles to block incoming attacks. After the attacks are done, make the blue circle disappear before the purple circle collides with it. If they collide, you take a lot of damage. Make sure you leave the blue circle alone so you can dodge incoming attacks first. If you make it disappear too quickly, you have nothing left to protect you. There's a variation with 3 blue circles. Make them smaller evenly, but do not let them disappear before the attacks on the floor are done. She has 2 main patterns. The first, you have to make 4 blue circles disappear. That's pretty much it. For the second main pattern, you need to collect the blue clusters and bring them to her. Some of the clusters will hide inside the purple or blue circle, so keep your eyes peeled. Again, try to avoid staying in the purple circles for too long. Now let's go over Innocent Peccator. Are you actually innocent though? The primary thing to do is to interact with the swords on the ground and complete the quick time event. Swords will come in the 4 cardinal directions, and you must block the swords from 4 sword attacks. It takes some time getting used to it. I do want to note one thing. Because your user interface takes up half the bottom of the screen, it's hard to react to swords coming from the bottom. So, watch for the bottom of the screen first, and you should have enough time to react to the swords from the other directions. When he starts to do this attack, you can use your overpower skills to make him stop and stun him immediately. As I mentioned before, make sure you interact with all the swords on the ground. If you don't, they explode and will damage you. When you see the casting bar on the bottom and the jumping symbol right here, that means you have to jump when it ends. Don't be like me, I messed this up. When the screen turns a little gray, he does his most powerful attack. He will tell you where his next 3 slashes will be in order. I recommend that you mentally note which areas you need to run to for each slash. Here's an example. So for here, I want to go top right, then left, then middle. Do not panic, you have plenty of time to run to each safe zone, just make sure you remember where you're supposed to be next. After these slashes, you get to interact with these swords. Another thing to note is that when you finish a quick time event, some of your cooldowns will be refreshed. Before you do a sword, make sure some of your skills are on cooldown to take advantage of this. For his main pattern, you have to do multiple quick time events in order to finish the pattern. The first one allows you to parry his full screen attack. Next, you have to dodge the spiky balls and also jump when they land. While dodging the AoE attacks, find the swords to clear them. Keep note that these only send 2 swords and you cannot fail any of them. After the spiky balls are gone, you can finish off the pattern for a damage phase. Phase 2 is pretty much the same thing, except he adds a few new attacks. Every now and then he'll toss swords in a yellow line. Press the attack key to knock them off and also lower his neutralization gauge. He is also more likely to toss swords at you in the middle of other patterns. Prioritize the future slashes first. If you need to, you can also do the quick time event to give yourself some invisibility. Alright, so that's pretty much it. This advanced dungeon is actually not that hard. The time limit is very generous. Just make sure you live so that you don't have to use all 5 of your tokens. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to this video if you found it very helpful. And that helps the channel out. It helps keep me motivated to make more videos to help you guys in the future. The next dungeon guide I'm going to make is for the other advanced dungeon, the castle. That's also not super hard either, and hopefully that one's pretty short too, but I'm going to need to spend some time to work on that. So please be patient with me in the meantime. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.